Narendra Modi has literally hit the ground running. He has a massive blueprint ready, which he hopes to roll out immediately after taking over. The levers of government have already been set in motion. And joining us this morning for more ground reports, headlines today's National Affairs Editor Javed Ansari. Also with us at this time, Gaurav Sawant, Editor Strategic Affairs, and Brajesh Pandey. I want to go across first to Javed Ansari to give our viewers a sense of what will happen inside Parliament's Central Hall. There's a BJP meeting first, there's an NDA meeting first. All of this, of course, very ceremonial, very official, because the reality is that Narendra Modi's elevation and confirmation is pre-decided. But what is it that the NDA is telling Modi in terms of what various parties and allies expect from the new Prime Minister, Javed?
Rahul, first of all, what is likely to happen is a very important process, an integral part of that process, which will put the formal seal on Mr. Narendra Modi. He will arrive here at 11:55. He will arrive in the Parliament precincts, where he will be received by Rajnath Singh, Sushma, Swaraj, Arun Jaitley and Mr. Advani. Then they will all proceed to the Central Hall. And significantly, Mr. Lal Krishna Advani will be amongst those who will propose his name. Rajnath Singh, Arun Jaitley, Sushma Swaraj and a host of others will propose his name. It will be seconded by a lot of the others, and then the formality of the elected members of the BJP parliamentary party giving that approval. Soon thereafter, it will be followed by an NDA meeting. The NDA leaders will come in, they will approve, they will endorse what the BJP parliamentary party has done. So that will put the final seal of approval. Mr. Narendra Modi will be officially declared elected as the leader of both the BJP and the NDA parliamentary party. Thereafter, the NDA leaders at 2:30 will proceed to President House, where they will present to him a copy of the letter saying that he's been formally elected and he's our leader. At 3:15, we are told, Mr. Narendra Modi will call upon President Pranab Mukherjee and formally stake his claim to form the next government.
Okay, that's very interesting. Gaurav Sawant has some insights into what the various bureaucrats are being told, how the new Prime Minister wants to hit the road running. And that is very interesting because obviously in the officials that he's been meeting, whether it's an Ajit Doval, whether it is an Anil Baijal, Narendra Modi clearly seems to have a blueprint about what he wants, whom he wants to set in what position, and how he hopes to show tangible returns in a very short span, Gaurav.
Oh, absolutely, Rahul. You've hit the nail on its head. Narendra Modi's hit the ground running. He's already been briefed by the Cabinet Secretary. He's already taken a briefing from the Home Secretary. Apart from that, there are several other secretaries of Raisina Hill who've lined up to brief him. What is it that Narendra Modi expects? Narendra Modi wants them to ensure that it's the economy that it kickstarts first. What does he intend to do? If we were to talk about the External Affairs Ministry, Commerce is the new passport, and a part of the Commerce Ministry is expected to be rejigged. Somebody who understands the economy very well is expected to lead the External Affairs Ministry, and trade was something that will be given a lot of impetus. That's point one. Point two, infrastructure ministries are something that the BJP intends to keep, because that is something that will actually spur the economy forward, whether it's surface transport, roads, railways. A lot of it could be combined. That's one of the proposals. What is also being looked at very closely is how to strengthen internal security, and that is something that Narendra Modi is very keen on. That's the pivot of growth, is to ensure that that the security all around. Also, what Narendra Modi is extremely keen on is to see who's performed well, who hasn't, what were some of the UPA government schemes that need to be relooked, rejigged and reprocessed. So that is something that we expect to see happen in the days and weeks to come, Rahul.
It's very interesting how Narendra Modi has asked all bureaucrats to put together a report of what the UPA did wrong. Now, one way of looking at it is that this is an honest introspection. The other is that he's asking these bureaucrats to tattle on his former bosses. But Narendra Modi asking for this report, and also in Gujarat we've seen him empower his bureaucrats, give them the confidence that he would back them to take decisions and support them if things went out of line. There's been a lot of conjecture, Brajesh, about who might get what portfolio. Is it to be thought that those bureaucrats who've gone and met Narendra Modi over the past 48 hours are the ones who are most likely to be given crucial appointments in the new NDA dispensation, Brajesh?
Well, Rahul, to be very honest, I mean, nobody knows for sure what is going inside Narendra Modi's head. Ajit Dovalu went and met him yesterday, has been in the reckoning for the post of NSA for a very long time. He is a checkered intelligence bureau, considered to be an ideal security man. But besides that, nobody has got any sort of confirmation about, their potential role in the future cabinet. One thing is for sure, and that is if we look at the Gujarat model, for where he's been the chief minister for the last 12-13 years, he is going to back his bureaucrats like anything. Even in Gujarat, where the bureaucracy they have a style of functioning and they brook no political interference, we are going to see a lot more there being replicated at center. Because if you look at the last 3 to 4 years, one of the term which has been the most permeating term is policy paralysis, which has set in deeply, and also thanks to 2G scam and coal block scam. So one of the things which he's going to do is to back the bureaucrats to make sure that they can take a decision without any fear or favor, and make sure that the whole engine of growth is set into motion. Rahul?
Narendra Modi will be entering is a parliament very different from the 15th Lok Sabha. This is a parliament where the BJP and the NDA will dominate like never before. You're watching Headlines Today, and I want to go across now to my colleague Atir Khan, who's inside Parliament and giving us a live ground update on the preparations on to welcome India's new Prime Minister. Atir, take it away.
Preparations for 16th Lok Sabha are on in full swing, and today there is BJP's parliamentary party meeting in the parliament behind me in the central hall. So what is the process of election of parliamentary party leader? Narendra Modi will be elected today as the leader. First, what we're getting to know from his sources is that Rajnath Singh is going to stand up and say that he convenes the parliamentary party meeting. Thereafter, he will seek election from the members who will unanimously elect Narendra Modi as the leader of the parliamentary party. And thereafter, our sources are telling us that Narendra Modi is going to meet the president at around 2:30 p.m. to stake his claim to form the government. With camera person Vinod, Atir Khan in Delhi for Headlines Today.
One of the things that Narendra Modi has been pushing in Gujarat is the empowerment of bureaucrats. And I want to go across on that to Gaurav Sawant, who's travelled extensively through Gujarat. Because in Gujarat, we've seen, Gaurav, Narendra Modi empower bureaucrats, enable them, give them the confidence to take their decisions. And that is something that a lot of the babus that we've been speaking to over the past 48 to 72 hours seem to be looking forward to, that they will finally have someone who allows them to take decisions and will stand up for them if things go wrong. And that's something which could substantially change how Delhi has been operating for the past 5 years.
Absolutely, Rahul. You and I travelled extensively through Gujarat just before the 2012 Gujarat elections, and whoever we spoke to on how the Gujarat story changed completely spoke of the direct interaction that Narendra Modi had with his bureaucratic team. There were no middlemen there. He'd call all the bureaucrats to his office. He'd listen, he'd hear all of them out and then together take a decision. If we were to talk about how the Sabarmati riverfront was done, and which is what is expected to happen in Varanasi at the Ganga riverfront, it's exactly the same thing. You get in experts, hear them out, discuss what money it will cost, discuss it with experts, and then go ahead and do it. Nobody comes in the way then. As far as bureaucrats and diplomats in Delhi are concerned, so far they were not sure whether to decide who takes the decisions. And as Sanjay Baru has written in The Accidental Prime Minister, files would travel between 7 Racecourse Road and 10 Janpath, and nobody wanted to sign the dotted line, especially after the 1,76,000 crore rupee 2G scam or the 1,80,000 crore rupee coal scam. And you know, the blame rested at the bureaucrats' door, didn't go up to the politicians. So just now they expect a change. They expect that empowerment that you and I have been talking about, because once again, this is going to be a government, as sources say, where technocrats, experts will have a major role to play. They've also won elections this time. So experts will give their opinion, and there is one man who will decide. Once that decision is taken, the team stands by that decision. Before that, of course, there will be a lot of debate, a lot of discussion. But once a decision has been arrived at, they will go ahead with it.
These are live images coming from inside Parliament, right outside the porch where Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi, the former HRD minister, is entering Parliament at this time. This, of course, for the big BJP meeting, which will be followed by a meeting of the allies. Murli Manohar Joshi was the HRD minister. under Vajpayee, according to many, a disastrous HRD minister. He's of course hoping that he will be given an important position in this government as well. He's of course eyeing Raisina Hill, but given the reluctance that is Nishank Pokhriyal, former Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, but given the reluctance Murli Manohar Joshi showed towards giving up his seat of Varanasi, given also the reluctance of LK Advani and Sushma Swaraj, Javed, several questions still about the role that these people will play in the Modi dispensation, in the new scheme of things. Has something been decided yet for the likes of an Advani, Sushma Swaraj and Murli Manohar Joshi, Javed?
I'm sure it has, but let me confess, at least I'm not aware of it, and I'm not so sure if too many journalists confess, but are aware of it. But let me say it's very significant that Mr. LK Advani's name figures prominently amongst those who will propose Narendra Modi's name to be elected as leader of the BJP parliamentary party. That should put at rest speculation. It's significant because Mr. Advani has been seen as sulking from time to time, not entirely on the same page, not very happy at the prospect of his protege now stealing a march over him. Now that Advani has been brought around and he's agreed to be amongst the proposers, that should put a seal of approval. And